program of IMAP again. I've been asked another question about the path of awakening. So today's question is the path of awakening different for men and women? Well, yes and no. Because maybe it's better to rephrase the question as, is there a masculine path of awakening? Is there a feminine path of awakening? Because just to divide the 8 billion people of this world into two categories, male and female, it cuts out a lot of individuality. No two men are exactly the same, no two women are exactly the same. And also there's a big growing category of people who say they're neither male nor female. They're not men and they're not women. So what does it mean to be a man? And why should awakening consciousness be different than someone who says they're a woman? And also we see that there are feminine men and masculine women. So when I talk about such things, when I'm teaching especially about the chakra system, about the 7 chakras and the 3 nadi, the 3 channels of energy, of course it's also I'm teaching there about male and female, the male path, but actually it's the masculine path, not the male path, the masculine path, which we could say is the yang or the animus. There are different ways to describe masculine energy. We can also say it's the active principle, but then we think that all men are not all men are active. So it's a principle rather than a physical gender, like having a penis and having testicles doesn't mean that you must only be aware and have no love, or having a vagina and having a uterus and ovaries doesn't mean that you can't have awareness and you must only be on the path of love. Such simple categories lose a lot of detail, and but we can say very generally that a masculine person in their journey of awakening or their path, if we're taking the chakra system as an example, then the first chakra is what we call masculine active, and it connects to the Pingala nadi. Or let's say when the Pingala nadi comes up the right side of the body and it reaches into the Muladhara chakra at the base of the spine and in the genital area, there's a division of active, masculine active, and feminine passive, not feminine negative or masculine positive. And we can see that from the genitalia. It looks like for the 99% of adult humans, 99% of us have a clear physical gender, but there are at least 1%, maybe more, of people that have a mixed physical gender, or it's not clear if it's a penis or a vagina, if there's a clitoris. So, if we're being compassionate to that 1%, we mustn't forget them. They're called intersex or hermaphrodite. So they're hidden because society, generally human society, doesn't accept minorities. But nowadays there's a large movement, especially in the more developed countries, to be more compassionate and inclusive of every human. Okay, so those humans that identify themselves as being physically male, there is also on top of that, there's a social conditioning that we can call gender, the gender conditioning. that if you have a penis and testicles and you have testosterone flowing through your blood, it's also another definition is of the hormonal level. Okay, so on top of the physical indications of being a male, there is a social gender conditioning that men must be active, men must be aggressive, men must be brutal, men are the adventurers, they are stronger, they need to fight. So that sort of idea, we condition our children very strongly with this idea nowadays, since even before they're born, that parents will do a scan and see, oh, okay, we're going to have a boy. So we go to the shop, prepare the clothes for the boy, the nappy even, or the pram. Oh, it's got to be blue. And that is a very, it's a conditioning I don't approve of, because colours are energy, and all children need the energy of love. So if pink basically is the colour of love, and if we don't allow boys to have that pink energy from the beginning, we're depriving them of love from the beginning. So from the very beginning of our life, we're saying men should have no love. So then it's no wonder that later in life men have cut off their feelings, and the women complain, but you did it. You cut off your son's own emotional feeling from the very beginning. And you said you must only be on the path of action. All right. So this must be understood, even though we talk about 3 channels of energy: Pingala, Sushumna, Ida, masculine, neutral, and feminine. It doesn't mean that men must only be on the Pingala and must be only on the active. It just means that they have that possibility given to them by nature and by the hormones, but they also need to be passive sometimes. Men need to relax, and men need to receive love and give love. And also they need to be on the neutral path, the path of growth, and the path of consciousness. Right, so the same with girls. If we're depriving a girl of blue, giving her only pink, we're not allowing her to develop her rationality, her mental faculties. And we can see that later in school, that girls don't study sciences, engineering is not allowed for girls, but actually many girls are great engineers, they can be great electricians, great plumbers, they can drive cars. So it's an old idea. It should be forgotten about already. Thousands of years old, that men are the hunters, they chop down the trees, they hunt the animals, and the women have to stay at home and breastfeed the babies and change the nappies. So, maybe even up to 100 years ago, it might have been okay that women had to have many babies because babies die. So to have 2 healthy babies to replace us, we needed to have 10 babies in the past, because 8 would die. But now, thanks to modern medicine, if you have 2 babies, 95% or more chance they're going to live to be adults. So that actually, the modern medicine is bringing a revolution to human society. That men and women don't need to depend on physical work. Women don't have to just make babies their whole life. They can take a break from their work for a few years. But also now, also in the developed countries, men are also allowed to have a break to raise the children. So it's not needed to separate men and women in so many aspects of life anymore. So what is a masculine path and what's a feminine path? Still, we can refer to the chakras and the nadi to refer to the 3 channels of energy, but say that anyone can go on any path when they feel, right?